So why have a community week? I think it's a great idea to have a community week because, in fact, we all do come from different backgrounds, different points of view. We, because of our families and how and where we grew up, we look at the world through a different lens. And in order to understand different people's points of view, it's helpful to understand where they come from, what their cultures are. And so a community week allows us to understand where people's people came from. And it's not only important, I think, in order to be able to empathize with each other, but it's interesting because it will show us how broad a reach our little Roosevelt community has. It's global.
So I think we should have a community week because it's an opportunity for all of us to remember where we came from and to celebrate that, and also to reinforce this idea that everyone belongs here and it doesn't matter where you come from, you are welcome at our school.
Without community, we become isolated and not part of a group. And this way, it's a way to connect to our neighbors and to do things neighborly. And it's really important to know your neighbors. And if you don't, it's not a strong community. And it's really important that we have these strong, vibrant communities so that we can take care of each other.
We welcome immigrants, and we think it's a huge part of American history and the American story.
It's really important that students know that they can come here and be safe and not fear being taken.
All students are welcome here. We mean that it doesn't matter what's going on around the world or in our country. Everyone is not only allowed to be here, but is welcome here, and we want you here. And we don't want anyone to be afraid or worried about what's going on, because school is always going to be a safe place, and we'll do our best to make sure that you feel like that every time you walk in those doors. So my mom's mom, that side of my family, came here from Italy in around 1920, and they moved to San Francisco, and she grew up in a house that didn't speak any English. She spoke English, and her parents never learned. They spoke Italian till the day they died. And she grew up in the Mission District, and I think it's really funny to walk down those streets because even though there are different people living there today, it's really a similar neighborhood. It's always been a place that welcomes immigrants.
My family came from Europe and Eastern Europe. Both sides of my family are Jewish, and they came actually around the turn of the century in the early 1900s. Then I'm actually fourth generation San Franciscan on one side, and on the other side, I come from the Midwest. So there you go.
Now we're all family. All students come from, where all staff comes from. My family has actually been in the United States a long time, since the 1600s, but they immigrated from Scotland, my father's side, and England and Ireland and Belgium, my mother's side, and then they've both were in North Carolina for a very long time.
I think immigration's a part of my identity because obviously both of my parents had families that came here from other places and came here in search of something that everyone comes here for, which is a better life, more opportunity, maybe to escape persecution or prejudice in other places. And they found their way here, and they found something in America that they really loved, and that freedom is something that I have a great respect for, and I think I'm continuing that by working in public schools and trying to do my best to help other kids who are coming from immigrant backgrounds as well.
I think that it's really important that when we do immigrate and when we do, that we learn about our country and learn about how we, in our diversity, are one. It's really cool.
So I feel like immigration is part of my identity. Like when we learn about the American Revolution, that's my family. They were there at that time, and they were fresh, new immigrants then, or had been in there only, 100 years. some of them a little more recently. And that idea that like they were creating a government for everyone, where all people are considered equal, that we welcome everyone, and that together we will make a great country and a great place.